Hey, what's up? It's another episode of Watch You Strappin. These are not watch reviews, they're just a quick wristwatch check with a specific aftermarket strap pairing, just to show it and maybe give some people some ideas on how to pair their watches, either of the same make or maybe something that's very similar. And you can also, I would also consider this as a supplemental or extended watch review. Just ongoing user experience, and I'll just throw in my tidbits of thoughts about the particular watch, usually in these little short episodes, as I see fit, whatever comes to my mind. Anyways, this is the Sinn 155S Bright Star, and this is a limited edition in collaboration with Revolution Watches or magazine, and well, it's kind of both. They have two segments there, but it's basically one and the same. And it's a limited edition of 300 pieces in this very cool, fully tegimented, all blacked out version of like their Bundeswehr style of military pilot chronograph. She can't tell from my postings of this, either in videos and or like social media, like my Instagram, and maybe you might be part of the same watch groups I am on Facebook. Really enjoyed this watch. And I've been having fun pairing it with different things. Being an all black case and everything, it's very critical that I find aftermarket strap options that have matching black hardware of some sort. Doesn't have to be fully tegimented. I don't think I'm going to find that, but basically, you know, some black PVD or DLC coated type of deal. And that's what I got here. And I showed off, a trio of these straps actually a couple episodes or videos ago, and this is the second one. The first one I showed off was this one, a black one, and which looks great, obviously black on black on black, with some red accents with where this would be with the tag. As you see it here, it has green accent, and this is they call it just green, but I would consider this like an olive green, olive drab color, very military green color, and I think it looks pretty awesome on this. I had a notion, but some thoughts on some aftermarket straps that I was really thinking of trying to pair with this to make it look different, more military, and very tool vibe, or I guess is very military. And I think this kind of suits it. Something very strappy, but I didn't want a NATO or NATO style Zulu strap, or Erica's Originals, or MN style Marine National with those elastic parachute, which I have plenty of, and they look great on this too. But I just want something different. I didn't want a two-piece strap necessarily, although this is actually a two-piece strap. I like the look of a bund strap, but that's kind of thick and it's leather, and I need something more washable and perhaps not as thick, and this kind of matched everything there. It gives me that strappy look, obviously, but it looks like two straps, right? It looks like this thinner one and this one underneath. It looks layered, but it's actually this one piece, and it comes around here, and this side here is actually a separate piece here with this black hardware. This is from a brand that I found called, I believe it's a phonetic pronunciation, if I can pronounce it, of the line over the E here. I believe it's pronounced Hēmsut. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's when I looked it up with a line, like straight line over an E like that. I believe it pronounced it as a long E, sound like E, double E. So I would say this is Hēmsut. Yeah, it's pretty cool, Velcro strap, and it's got that cool like layered look too. But the beauty of this is that it has that, looks like this under piece here, looks like it would go all the way underneath like a bund strap, or even, well, a NATO would have to do a pass through the spring bars, but sort of like a bund strap, right, where you have an underlayer that goes, and then you have like a strap that goes over that, right. It's kind of like that, but you can see it actually doesn't. It ends right just under the lugs, and so you don't have that extra thickness, which is great, but you kind of have that look. And I dig it, and I think this works really nicely. Being a military pilot chronograph watch, I think this just very fitting. And of course, they got the black hardware. I do think that the green on here is okay, but I imagine actually usually with this kind of olive drab color, the accent color I usually see paired with this is either generally an orange or perhaps a red. Red and green would kind of actually work too, but usually an orange and green. I'm thinking of like the the military flight suits jackets that people have, or the I think they are the military probably still use them. I forget the exact designation. Are they like the M1 jackets or something like that? If you get the ones that are got that olive drab color, and I think almost any colors you have, they always have a bright orange, or I think they call it Indian orange interior on those. And I think those are basically, you can invert the jackets and you can be like easily seen if you're downed and you need to be rescued, right? You need to take off the low profile black or green, whatever it is that the suit, the main color of that jacket would be inverted to show the bright orange side, and you'll be easily seen. But anyways, but as a whole, I usually see, people don't wear the orange side, they wear like the green, and then you can still catch a glimpse of the orange interior of those jackets usually. I rarely see people button them up or zipped up fully. But anyways, there we go. Just give you an idea how it looks like on my 7-inch wrist. This is a 43 millimeter watch, which it should be. This is the original size is 43, but even the lug to lug, I think it's at least 50, maybe a hair over. You can't judge it by a watch solely by its lug to lug measurements. It's a good indicator, but it doesn't tell the full story. It's got as you can see, this actually curves down pretty nicely too, and it actually wears pretty well. What else I was gonna say? Darn, I had something else on the top of my head and I lost it as I was talking. Maybe it'll come to me in a moment. But yeah, oh yeah, the Velcro. This is the larger size, as I might have mentioned in the previous videos that I've done on these straps. They come in basically a medium and large. There's no small, as far as I'm aware of, at least in this specific style. And they do come in a couple of variations, like the end pieces here. There's one that has this extra metal bit, like comes out, and you can run the spring bars through that. So I guess technically it's a more rigid or more durable connection or point than this. This is fabric, but it's pretty good quality fabric as far as I can tell. It's pretty thick. As such, this quick release spring bars that are in here can be a little finicky to attach on, even though it's supposed to be quote quick release or attach, I guess. It's because of the thickness at the ends here. I can't really show it to you, but maybe if you saw my other previous videos when I was trying to install it, the little lever, I guess, or handle of the spring bars that you would use to pull down the spring bars to set it or unleash it, it's kind of deep set in there. You just have to kind of angle it in such a way where you can get your fingernails to get a good purchase on it, so you can pull it down. That's the only thing about it, but once you do, it's fine, and you just push the thing in and it just goes right in and it's secure. That's one thing about it. But yeah, the large and medium size, I originally bought a medium because it fits up to a 7.2 inch wrist supposedly. And my wrist is about 7 inches, and it did work, but then it showed too much of the Velcro. I guess this would be considered the loop part of it, the softer part. This end piece, which would be kind of down here, and you have at least an inch and a half or maybe 2 almost of black Velcro, which in itself isn't the worst thing, but two things. One, I imagine that being black and being that material, right? If you know Velcro or hook and loop system, I can't use the word Velcro because I think it's proprietary, like the word NATO might be, and there's not a NATO shop obviously. But anyways, yeah, being that material and being black, it can be a bit of a dust and lint magnet, particularly, or just because of the nature of Velcro. So you'll probably see kind of specks on that part of it more, which it's not that appealing to me. You want to keep it looking as clean as possible, and being exposed, I think just being up against things over time, that part of the hook and loop system will get kind of, you can imagine, getting kind of fuzzy over use, and that probably won't look as good too. So I just wanted to I got the larger size so that I can get this extended piece to get right up to this part, because you don't want to pull past it because you won't have anything to hold the Velcro hook and loop system down on this end, right? Because there is nothing. But up to this part, basically, maybe it's a tiny bit more, it just fits pretty perfectly actually on my 7-inch wrist. So then now I got basically more or less full coverage of that hook and loop system, and so it just looks more complete. I don't have to see that black part. I don't have to worry about fuzzy portion and catching and showing off like dust or lint on that portion. It's more covered up, and I think that's a lot better. And the larger ones will fit between 7.2 to like a 9.2, I think, something around there. Pretty big wrist. But then you got that bigger wrist, you have no choice, but you will have to show more Velcro. But I suggest if you have about a 7-inch wrist or so, to minimize that amount of Velcro showing, when you use the word Velcro, the hook and loop system showing on the side of the strap here, as I mentioned, go for the larger size. But I think if you have anything underneath a 7-inch wrist, probably won't work. You're just gonna have to go with the medium size and just have a little bit more, some of that Velcro showing at least as much as possible. Because if you go too long, if your wrist is too small, smaller than a 7-inch, I think you can secure it, but then this end will be sticking up past that part, and you got nothing to hold it down with, and I don't think that looks good either. So, anyways, pull back shot here, side. It sits really nice and low. I mean, I measured this. This is basically a 15mm thick watch from crystal to the case back, but the mid case is quite thin. It kind of just recedes away. You can see it's not that thick at all, and just the way it's designed, it's very pretty. It just wears pretty low profile considering the size of the watch and everything. It's not bad. It looks appropriate for what it is. Nice, easy to read pilot watch. And there we go. I think I've spoken enough on this. Hopefully I showed this off. And I think they only come in black hardware anyways. So that's fine with me. If you have a silver watch, you may not be so picky. Then you can still do it, obviously. But I would be reluctant to pair something with black hardware on a silver case. Although if you do have, like, say, something like this with a silver body case, but the bezel is all black, then you could probably get away with it because there's enough black on the surface of the watch to kind of justify having a black piece of hardware because it will match in that sense. Anyways, my 2 cents and a couple of other nickels and dimes of thoughts in there. Thanks for watching and enjoy your watches.